Alright, I'm going to do a quick update video. Since I left to go to Orlando a week ago, I came back sick because I was in the Orange County Convention Center all week, and I'm pretty sure I got a sinus infection, so I sound funky, but I'm sure I'll live. But a couple things have happened in the week. It was pretty consistently warm here and pretty humid, so a lot of these plants are really taking off. Just look at this red Jabo right here. It's got it bloomed heavily while I was gone, still blooming now. You can see some little fruitlets starting to pop up all over it, so we'll get another crop of that again this year. Some of these dried up old ones on there were just like really runty, so I didn't even bother picking them. Sometimes they just get real small and aren't worth even picking. But all these plants in here are doing good. I think I've talked about what they were before. Starting a new batch of spicy peppers. Got some lemon drops and some cocoa ghost peppers from my friend Jenny. She went to Hawaii and got a chocolate bootla, which they call them cocoa ghosts there, so I'm calling it a cocoa ghost. We'll see if it's any different. But the what was it, the garnet variety of Cherry of the Rio is bloomed like 3 or 4 flowers. I don't think it's gonna set fruit, but miracle fruit kicking off. There's all these reds, and that's an Oriana right there, Oriana right there. They're all doing really well. All the Eugenias and stuff. I got some pigeon peas in there that are starting to kick back or kick off as well. The cacao are starting to pop up and push out leaves. Looks like the only ones that actually germinated were the yellow ones. The ones in the red pods really didn't do that well. I'm not sure why, but you can see that they're popping out. They're doing real good, so I'll take what I can get. My cuttings from my red finger lime are still green, so hopefully that's a good sign. We got some new guys over here. We got a couple of Luke's Garcinias. So this one's already pushed out new growth. I got these from Adam at Flying Fox Fruits, and he was nice enough to send me two. This one, he said it was just recently grafted up, but it should push out new growth. So I'm keeping them both in out of direct sunlight for now until they start, looking a little more durable. And this one especially, they need to stay humid, but it's pretty humid out. I think they'll be fine over here, especially if it rains next week. But let's see what else. The Myrcieria vexator, or the blue Jabo, is looking pretty good. Scarlet is just pushing out a whole bunch of new growth. All these Suriname cherries they're still looking burnt from the cold, but they're okay. This oblongata jabuticaba, so it's a Plinia oblongata, is looking really good. The Plinia Troncoflora gigante variety is looking really nice. These it's got like a darker, like ambery, not amber, like silvery brown growth on it. It's really pretty. Let's see what else is going on. These cherimoyas that I neglected apparently are doing okay, so I'll continue neglecting them the same way I have been. Some seedling black sapote. My yellow Grumichama is doing really good. I potted it up along with the yellow rose apple over there. They're all pushing out new growth. Same for the Sabra. No signs of any flowers on it yet, but keep it posted. Rimmel jabuticaba is just super loaded up top. Put out a lot of really bushy growth. My Eugenia stipitata, the Arasaboy, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, is doing pretty good. I pruned some of the lower branches because it was like hanging and touching the ground, and I didn't want to give bugs more capability of getting up on here because they like to eat this thing. They'll devour it. Like I think it's the cutworms. When they get hungry, they tend to flock to this thing. But it's also flowering again. I didn't get any fruit set last time. I know I posted a video on it, but it's been flowering on and off since then. So there's a big cluster there. There's a couple more flowers all over it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some. So Rosa de Pescoco in there. It's looking a little chlorotic. I hit it with some chelated iron before I left, so hopefully it'll pop out. Yeah, just some more Eugenias down here. The Batanga is going to explode here in like a day or two. I can just feel it. But hopefully we'll actually get some fruit off of this one, and hopefully it's a good tasting one. We shall see. Chocolate bubblegum pepper doing really good. Is a caramel or chocolate reaper. That's what this one is. Chocolate Carolina Reaper doing really good. It's flowering heavily. There's another chocolate bubblegum doing really nice. Those are peppers. The Pitombo, the Eugenia, was it Lushnathiana, is definitely flowering. So we've got some clusters there. It's looking really nice. These blueberries are starting to fill up. I brought it in so the birds don't steal it. Let's see what else is going on here. The weeds and whatnot really grew up, and I had some tomatoes pop in here too, and they're getting big and flowering, so I'll just leave those. I've been pulling up some of the weeds I don't want, just 'cause I'm trying to make it look nice, but I've got like all this dill running along the side, which I like. I'm trying to keep the Biden's Alba weeds in the back because they can get quite bushy. I don't want them up in my path and where I need to like reach for things. So I'm not pulling them out of the ground, but I'm snapping the stems off and basically doing chop and drop by hand. Let's see. Red Jabberwocky Cob in the ground, still doing good. Cambuca's still doing good, pushing out new growth. This pumpkin came back, and there's a Dune sunflower that I didn't plant there. It planted itself, and it's going to provide some good ground cover. Starfruit, pushing out a bunch of new growth. I tipped all the branches, so it's going to get real thick, hopefully. And then the passion fruit is finally pushing out flowers again, since I moved it over here. So you see what these look like. This is how you can tell that it's going to be a flower. Ooh, it's not. Oh, here's one at the top that you can see a little better. Let me find a better one. Basically, all the purple possum are flowering, and it's. I'll just step back. The whole thing is flowering, so this will have loads of passion fruit all over it. When I cleaned it up. The pigeon pea actually had a second crop on it, which is kind of cool. And they're reseeding themselves down there, so I'll have to keep that under control. But this Batanga is actually flowering as well. So this is the one I got from Adam at Flying Fox Fruits. I put a Eugenia piriformis in the ground, and it's doing fine. Let's see, the strawberry guava looking like a bush, which is exactly what I want. It might have some flowers on it down there. I don't know. It's about 2 years old, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did. And then the last thing I want to show over here out front is just the Cherry of the Rio here. Flowering like crazy all over. The pomegranate out front is also finally coming back from being dormant, which is exciting. Maybe it'll flower for me and we'll get a single pomegranate, or a squirrel will. These pepper plants are doing fine. I started putting these seashore mangosteens around the other mangosteens just to give them a little bit of shade, because it looks like this one was getting a little burnt on the tips from the direct sunlight. So just moved it in front, and it seems to have seems to be doing a little better. I might need to water this one, maybe. Hopefully it'll rain. That's fine. I think it's just looking burnt. I try not to water the stuff here because I don't think it really needs it. I might have to water this guy. The ones in the pots really do need them. I'll hit that here in a bit. Avocados flowering like crazy. Sugar apple pushing out new growth. Again, I think I'm allergic to them, but I've got friends who like them, so I'm just happy to grow stuff. I can't remember if I covered this, but I did put the one of the seashore mangosteens in the ground. So hopefully that'll be a female. Let's see. Mulberry's got mulberries. I'm sure the birds will be happy. I did get one ripe one off of it today, kind of lower down, so they haven't found out about it yet. Let's see, where are my jackfruits? They're in there. It's hard to see them, but they're in there. They're still green, so we're good. This coffee plant still struggling. We'll see what happens. Alright. Everything over here is looking fine. Nothing really new. This got stepped on. The passion fruit in there is flowering too. All of my mangoes have flowered or fruited or have little fruitlets on them right now, which is cool. Debating whether or not I'm going to take the fruit off that one. I just kind of want to see if it sets because it had the powdery mildew on it, and I didn't spray it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This is another lemon drop mangosteen. It had really bad scaly bugs on it. Still has some. I removed them by hand. I think I heard it a little bit whenever I put it in the ground. The root ball kind of fell apart a bit. So, see what happens there. This banana here is taking off. Finally pushing out a new leaf after not doing anything for like a half a year. The jackfruit in there, it's hard to see. It's like right there. It's still growing. My Japanese maple, I haven't really talked about this one too much. I moved it to this spot because it was getting too much sun before, but it looks like it's finally happy. It basically looked like a burnt mess for 2 years. The yuzu, I'm hoping will start flowering soon. Oh, speak of the devil. Here we go. Oh, let me see if I can focus on that. Yep, so we're getting some more yuzu. Got some new growth popping in. So last year, I don't think I picked it at the right time. I waited too long and they were all dry on the inside, which really sucked because I love yuzu. So I didn't get to eat it, but I had like 6 fruits on it. It took a year for them to get ripe. So figure out this year. I have a type of ice cream bean here. This is the cinnamomia, something like that. I put it in the ground and it got really windy and all the leaves came off, and it has very upset because I was looking forward to this one. I'm still holding out hope that it's okay. You can't really see it probably in the color, but it still has green in it, so I'm assuming it's just figuring itself out. I don't want to scratch it to see if it's still green, but there are like these little nubs down here, and I'm hoping that's going to be new growth, but I'm sure it'll come back. I removed this papaya because I just don't like papayas, because this tree is big enough to handle the full sun, and since I did that, it's been like a week or two, and it is going crazy. So this is the Quaimuck. Anything else? The persimmon is starting to push out. Hopefully we'll get some flowers and fruit this year. The finger lime started pushing out flowers again, so I'm not really sure when they're supposed to or if they just kind of do it all year, but I've had a couple of fruits off of it. The Rodinia is pushing out a whole bunch of green growth. It seems to have appreciated not being in that pot anymore. The fig here, really happy that it's warming up, so I'm sure we'll have figs in like 2 months. These jackfruits are still doing great. The orange is still blossoming. It smells amazing over here. This Julie mango it looks pitiful, but it looked pitiful when I got it, so I'm hoping after it's done flowering, I will pick off any fruitlets that form. I see a bunch of them actually did form, which I'm surprised because I heard people have issues with Julie mangoes specifically and like actually setting fruit, but I think that's just because it needs multiple varieties, which there's a ton of mangoes in this neighborhood, so I'm sure that one will do great. The other weird thing is that it actually flowered down here, which I think I showed. Yeah, I did a video on it before I just left. And this is from the rootstock, so I've never seen that before. It's kind of cool. If it sets any fruit, I'll just pick it off, but that surprised me. Let's see. We'll come back around here and I'll cut it off. There's nothing super crazy going on. Got some blueberries on this little twig of a blueberry. What else has changed? This Carolina Reaper's doing good. Oh, I guess I can show the flowers on the mangoes and the fruitlets. So yeah, this one's finally flowering for me. It is definitely old enough to hold the fruit. It's got a pretty thick trunk. It's very short. I'm assuming it's a Valencia Pride, but I don't think it is. I'm gonna guess it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell what it is just by looking at it, but I guess we'll find out. If it's got a crappy fruit on it, I'll just grab something else onto it. Yeah, so here's the orange sherbet, and it's got a whole bunch of fruit set. You can see all the little fruitlets on there. I think I'll let this one hold one or two. I want the trees to grow a bit more, but I think that one can handle one. Let's go over here. Yeah, so this is the lemon zest. And you can see it had the powdery mildew on it, but I can kind of still see it on the fruitlets, but they're growing, so I don't think it's actually an issue. And you do get this like black stuff, so that's from all the scaly bugs that get on it, and they put out sugar, and they drip down, and it turns everything black. You can see it right there, but I'm doing it organically. I'm not spraying anything, and I don't want to have to care about that. So I don't like the idea of eating stuff that's like killing things. It's kind of gross. But it looks like after a while, if you just let the animals do their thing, I will like rub the scale off, but just to keep it under control if I feel like it's too much. But you can see it's kind of, after a while, it just flakes away. So I don't think it's actually hurting the tree. I mean, it's not killing the tree. But, I mean, you can tell it's pretty happy, right? Like, I'm not a professional, but yeah. So waiting for this guy. This is the cross gooseberry thing. Actually, is that? Nope. Keeps tricking me. So these are cuttings I got from Adam at Flying Fox Fruits. It's the is it the Dovialis abyssinica, cross abyssinica? And it makes these little sour warhead flavored gooseberry things. They don't have seeds in them, so you can just pop the whole thing in your mouth. I haven't tried one yet, but anyone who I've seen who likes sour stuff loves these things. But you can also make jams out of them, obviously. But I've seen Adam ship them out on his channel, and they've had fruit on them, I think, or at least flowers. But since I put mine in the ground, it hasn't had any of that. But I'm sure it's just focusing on getting established. But I think at this point it's pretty well established. Like it was, maybe a foot off the ground when I first got it, and the thickness of this twig. But it does extremely well. Doesn't seem to be phased by anything that's happened. Hurricane, cold, no rain. Looking pretty good. But I'm trying to think if there was anything else that's changed. I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go back in and drink some water. But yeah, thanks for watching.